गालों पे राधे राधे दिखाओ आप दिखाओ राधे कितनी देर में आ जाते हो स्कूल से
Hello friends, welcome back to this channel. As you know from my previous vlog, we have come to Govardhan. Subsequently, we made our way to Vrindavan, which is mere 13 kilometers away from our current location. Upon arriving in Vrindavan, our first priority was to find a suitable hotel and book rooms for ourselves. We were exhausted and in need of some rest. The hotel we chose was decent and had rooms that resembled flats in an apartment building, specifically a 2-bedroom, 1 hall setup. The TV wasn't large, but we chose not to turn it on. There was a swimming pool, but it appeared to be decorative one as there was no water in it. This is the facade of this hotel, and its exterior appears to be severely damaged with visible cracks in the walls. Upon experiencing the divine sight of Banke Bihari Ji, we promptly proceeded to Nidhivan. In Nidhivan, there are numerous tulsi plants. Recently, a path has been constructed to prevent devotees from entering or touching the trees. This is the spot where we were able to dance while being watched by inquisitive monkeys taking note of our every move. Due to the rain, we sought refuge in a nearby shop and ordered some food to eat while we waited. This bhaiya informed us that this location goes by the name of Cheer Ghat. It's interesting to note that Krishna had taken the clothes of the gopis from the Kadam tree at this very spot. This is the Yamuna Ji, a sacred river. It holds immense cultural and religious significance as it was the very same river that Vasudev Ji bravely crossed in the dead of night, carrying the beloved baby Krishna from Mathura to Gokul. The same day we went to see Prem Mandir and were awestruck by its magnificent view. We were not permitted to get closer, so we captured the view from a distance. The temple is named Prem Mandir, which is inscribed on its facade. The children were fascinated by a model depicting Krishna standing on Kaliya Nag while punishing him. There's a huge swarm at the Prem Mandir. This is a point of attraction. A few children are perched on their parents' shoulders. Here is a closer view of the temple. You can find numerous depictions of Krishna's childhood activities on the premises. This particular one shows how Krishna lifted Govardhan hill with his little finger for 7 days and nights. Once we finished exploring the entire premises of the temple, we made our way back to the hotel by hiring an electric rickshaw. After having dinner, we stayed in the hotel for the night. The next morning, we packed our bags and put them in the car's trunk. Since the children were exhausted and didn't want to be in a crowded place anymore, we headed back to Jaipur without visiting any other places. A man near Prem Mandir held Havisha's hand and asked her to come aside. She was just a little bit behind us. She got scared and ran towards us. So I think the crowded place is unsafe for the kids to visit. Home is the place away from all the goons in the world. While driving, we made the impromptu decision to head towards Barsana. And now we have arrived in the charming village of Barsana. The village Barsana is warmly welcoming us. This road leads directly to the temple. We made a brief stop to show the children some monkeys en route. We have now reached the hilltop and parked the car. We are heading towards the temple. Its facade is remarkable. It has 2 large doors. Barsana is the birthplace and home of the goddess Radharani. As you know, she is the chief consort of Krishna. Here the main attraction is Radharani temple. The temple is also known as Sriji temple. Barsana is an integral part of the Krishna pilgrimage circuit. At the temple, the worshipped deities are Radharani and Krishna, who are revered as Sri Ladli Lal, meaning beloved daughter and son of the town. This structure is an exquisite example of Rajput architecture commonly found in the forts of Rajasthan. It boasts stunning arches and pillars crafted from red sandstone. The intricate hand carvings, beautiful arches, and domes make this temple resemble a magnificent palace. Inside, the walls and ceilings are adorned with exquisite paintings. Red and white stones were used in the construction of this temple, symbolizing the love of Radha and Krishna. To reach the main temple from the ground, one must climb over 200 stairs. From the premises of the temple situated at the peak of the hill, one can behold the entire view of Barsana. We made it to the temple bright and early this morning. At around 7 o'clock, due to our timely arrival, there are only a limited number of devotees present at this moment. Having patiently waited for the main temple to open, we opted to pay a visit to the temple that was situated on the hill. You can see Barsana town from here, but you also can see litters here. The devotees might have littered this area, but we won't make such a mistake. We should keep public place litter free. From this vantage point, the town of Barsana is visible. However, there is also visible litter in this area. The local people are preparing their place for the items to be sold. This is the way to the temple, as you can see the dome of the temple. We met a young boy who inscribed the name of Radharani on our cheeks as visible to you. This boy arrives early in the morning to administer tilak and other markings to the devotees. He disclosed that he only attends school for an hour and then rushes back here to carry out this work.
यहाँ नीचे गांव में ही रहते हो, बरसाना गांव में? तो सुबह सुबह आ जाते हो जल्दी? कितनी बजे आ जाते हो? 5 बजे। और कब तक रहते हो?
8 बजे तक रहते हैं।
और स्कूल
जाते हैं 8 बजे।
कितनी देर में आ जाते हो स्कूल से?
हमारे लिए 8 बजे तक छुट्टी हो जाती है।
We stopped to take a break for a little while. Now the temple is open. So this is the Sriji temple. From here, this temple offers a stunning view of the town. Upon receiving the blessings of Radharani, we proceeded to the parking area where our car was parked. From there, we made our way down the hill. Going downhill is not a simple task. It requires you to drive slowly and steadily, as even one mistake could cause you to tumble down the steep slope. The turn here is not smooth and requires a slight reverse maneuver before proceeding forward. If a vehicle approaches from the opposite direction, you may become obstructed and trapped due to the narrowness of the path. Have you ever heard of Murphy's Law? It's when the thing you fear the most ends up happening. For example, we were discussing how we didn't want a vehicle to come from the opposite direction, but unfortunately it did and delayed us. Regardless, we have managed to move on. Keshu needed to weep, prompting us to pull over here. Meanwhile, Havisha felt hungry and snagged on a couple of bananas. Another tractor is full of hay. Havisha said this tractor has a big belly. As we ventured forth, we stumbled upon a fortress in Ding that was encircled by water. Do you know what is this called? The water around a fort or fortress or castle. This is called a moat. A moat is a deep, broad ditch, either dry or filled with water, that is dug and surrounds a castle, a fort, or a fortress filled with water to make it difficult for enemies to attack. So, this is a moat. However, this approach has become obsolete with the advent of aircraft. Now, you might have observed that I called it a fortress, not fort. But what is the difference between a fort and a fortress? Let me tell you. A fort contains only military personnel inside it, but a fortress contains a civilian population for which the fortifications provide protection. It reminded me of a movie called Troy. The city of Troy was situated inside a fortress. So that was a fortress, not a fort. The fort reminded me of an idiom. The idiom is hold the fort. Hold the fort means having responsibility for something while someone else is absent. For example, my husband is holding the fort while we are away. Regrettably, we were unable to make it to the fortress due to time limitations. However, we intend to preserve it for a future trip. Havisha was thrilled to have the opportunity to be here. This is the gateway to the Alwar district. We are currently stuck in Kerala, Alwar district due to a railway crossing. As evident from the sign on the board, we are patiently waiting for the train to pass. At the moment, we are in the queue. It appears that a woman and her children are also stranded on the truck. After spotting an opportunity, a beggar approached us. Once the train had passed the railway crossing, we safely crossed the railway crossing and quickly got onto the highway in our car. You can enjoy the stunning scenery of the Aravalli mountain range from this spot. A road was created by carving through the mountain at this location. Now the time is 18 past 11. Harika grew tired and dozed off in the car, while Havisha continued to enjoy the journey. Keshu also fell asleep, as children tend to tire easily during long trips. Unfortunately, there was nothing outside that caught their interest. On our way, we stumbled upon a shop that had an impressive collection of altars in various sizes and designs. Although I was interested in getting one, we didn't have the time since it wasn't planned. However, we need to leave for now and plan to return later. I can't help but observe that this area has a plethora of sculptures crafted by exceptionally and highly talented artists. You will notice a distinctive design right here that is absolutely ideal for altars. It is evident that this particular altar is specifically intended for use in temples. On the right side of the road, there are statues of Hanumanji and Shankarji. It is important to note that they are statues, not deities, as deities should be located inside the temple. Here also the mountain was cut to make way for the road. The mountain ahead appears to be composed of sand and has trees growing on it rather than stones. Now the time is 38 past 12. It seems that my father is feeling exhausted. I took control of steering wheel for a short distance to give a break. However, I was unable to continue for long as Keshu did not permit me to drive much. My little one jumped onto my lap and prevented me from driving. Now we are passing through this beautiful gate. The facade of this building is quite impressive and striking, isn't it? In the city of Jaipur, horse-drawn carts are still in use. Upon returning, our first task after taking a break was to wash the clothes worn during the pilgrimage. Thank you so much for watching this video.